In Alexander Hadel's text, The Babylonian Genesis, there is the story of Marduk and Tiamat. Marduk was the young hero of the gods. The old gods have been tyrannized by the monster Tiamat. So Marduk went to battle with her, denounced her in transcendent terms for her wicked measures, and challenged her to a duel. She became like one in a frenzy who has lost her reason. She accepted the challenge, and the two engaged in single combat. Marduk spread his net and enmeshed her, and when she opened her mouth to devour him, Marduk drove the evil north wind into Tiamat so that she could not close her lips. Then he shot an arrow through her open mouth, and it struck her heart and destroyed her life. Marduk cast down Tiamat's carcasses and split her skull with an unsparing club, cut her arteries, and caused the north wind to carry her blood southward. Finally, he divided the colossal body of Tiamat into two parts to create the universe. With one half of her corpse, he formed the sky, and with the other half, the earth. This is an image of developing consciousness. Whenever consciousness touches an unconscious content, the content is split into opposites, that is, earth and sky. It is a basic theme of creation myths. This idea of the emergence of the opposites continues in Jung's discussion of the double nature of the fish. Jung tells us that according to certain early texts, the original sea monster, Leviathan, was split into two. Some texts speak of two Leviathans. Later, the doubling is expressed in the pairing of Behemoth and Leviathan. In the idea that the original deity split Leviathan off from himself or split a monster off from himself, so that the opposite was then between God and the monster. But then the monster split into two, and the opposition was no longer between God and the monster, but between the two monsters. Then there were the two fish, a good fish and a bad fish. This is a variation of the same archetypal image which Jung speaks of later, of the two sons of God, Christ and Satan. The image of the two fishes is the prototype of the two sons, Christ the good fish and Satan the bad fish. The symbol is an example of how the self differentiates under the influence of consciousness. This can also be seen as a doubling of the shadow. Jung writes, this split corresponds to the doubling of the shadow, often met with in dreams, where the two halves appear as different or even as hostile figures. This happens when the conscious ego personality does not contain all the contents and components that it could contain. Still, another consideration is that this kind of image in dreams indicates that awareness of the opposites is coming into consciousness. An unconscious content often appears in double form in dreams at such a time. It is split like Tiamat. What can happen is that one half of the form is accepted and added to consciousness, the half one likes. The half that one does not like is repressed again.